Okay, guys, we're back. Today we are doing the worksheet reviewing factoring that I gave you in class. Remember, this is all Algebra 1, so this should be review. The first thing that I want you to remember is that you always need to check to see if there's a greatest common factor. A lot of these can't be done or can't be done correctly, obviously, if you don't pull that greatest common factor out first. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and start with number 1. We have n squared minus 18n plus 80. We're going to go ahead and factor this. So factors of n squared are n and n. And factors of 80 that add up or subtract to 18, that's going to be 10 and 8. Now, if you notice, this is negative 18. That means you had to add the 8 and the 10. So both the 10 and the 8 are negative. Negative 10n minus 8n is going to give you negative 18n. And then negative 8 times negative 10 gives you positive 80. Again, in order to check this, all you do is FOIL whatever you got. So this is n squared. That'll give you minus 10n minus 8n plus 80. And simplify. And you see that it is, in fact, the original expression that we wanted to factor, and we did. So this is the correct answer for number 1. Okay. Number 2, we have k squared minus 2k minus 15. Again, factors of k squared are k and k. Factors of 15 that add or subtract to 2 are going to be 5 and 3. How to determine whether it's positive or negative here. We look at the original here. This is a negative 2k. We pick the bigger number. The bigger number is 5. Therefore, the 5 is going to be the negative, just like this, and this one will be positive. Okay? So what you do is you take the sign from here and you put it onto the bigger of the two numbers. In this case, it's the 5. And that's it. You're done. Okay, number 3. We have x squared minus 12x plus 27. Again, we're going to go ahead, factor this, x times x. Factors of 27 that add up to 12 or subtract to 12, it's going to be 9 times 3. And if you notice, again here, 9 plus 3 is 12, and you have a negative 12. So both of these will have to be negative. All right, number 4. We have a squared minus 6a plus 8. We have a and a. Here we need factors of 8 that will either add up or subtract and give me a negative 6. That's going to have to be 4 and 2, and both of these will be negative because you're adding negative 2 and negative 4 to get negative 6a. Number 5, we have n squared minus n minus 6. Factors of n squared are going to be n and n. Factors of 6 that will give me a negative. Now this one you need to be careful. Factors of 6 that will give me a negative 1, but also give me a negative 6 when I multiply. So factors of 6 could be 1 and 6, and they could be 2 and 3. If we use 2 and 3, if I put a 3 here and a 2 here, and make this one negative and this one positive, this is going to give me negative 3n plus 2n. That's going to give me negative 1n. And then 2 times negative 3, that's going to give me negative 6. So that one works. This one's good. Let's take a look at number 6. For number 6, we have 6v squared plus 18v minus 60. Now, if you notice, this is the first time that the coefficient, our leading coefficient up here, is not a 1. Here it's 1, 1, 1, and so on. So it's super important that you check to see if there is a greatest common factor. Remember I told you that that was really important? We really didn't have any here, so that's why I didn't mention it. But now we do have a greatest common factor. What can we pull out of each of these? Well, the biggest factor that I see is a 6, and we're going to be left with v squared plus 3v minus 10. Okay? And you got to keep that 6 there. You can't let it disappear. Now we're going to go ahead and factor this. Factors of 10, well, there's only 1 and 10 and 2 and 5 that are going to give me 3. It's going to be that 5 and the 2. So the 5 and the 2. This is a positive 3. Therefore, my 5 has to be positive, and the 2 will be negative. All right, number 7. (3a squared minus 21a minus 24). Again, greatest common factor is going to be 3. You're going to be left with a squared minus 7a minus 8. And now we're going to factor here. We have a and a. Factors of 8 that give me 7. It's going to have to be 8 and 1. This is negative 7, so the 8 will be negative and the 1 will be positive. Number 8, we have 5n squared minus 35n minus 90. Again, greatest common factor you're going to pull out is a 5. This is going to give you minus 7n minus 18. Okay, and we're going to factor this. N and n. Factors of 18 that give me a 7. Let's try 9 and 2. The 9, this is negative 7, therefore the 9 will be negative and the 2 will be positive. Number 9. We have 5x squared minus 52x plus 20. Okay, greatest common factor. 52 is not divisible by 5. So there isn't a greatest common factor here. The way I would do this one, there's 2 ways to do it. In fact, I'll do both ways just the first time. The first time is through what we call guess and check. And basically you're guessing and you're trying to see what works. So factors of 5x squared would be 5x and x. And then factors of 20. Well, we have several. We have 1 times 20. We have 2 times 10. We have 4 times 5. But we want to get 52. Remember, we have to take into this account this 5 here. So if I do 10 here and 2 here, 10 times 5x, that's 50, and that's 2x. If they're both negative, that'll work out fine. So this one is correct, and it's using guess and check. Now, if you don't want to use that way, you can always do it this way. You're still going to get the same answer. You take this number and you swing it to the back. You're going to multiply the 5 times 20. So the constant is going to be multiplied by 5. So this is x squared minus 52x plus 100. You're going to factor this, which is easy to factor, x and x, 50 and 2, and they're both minus. But you are not done. Since you multiplied by 5, now you're going to have to divide here by 5, each one of these. Okay? And then this one, make sure this fraction is in lowest term. You're going to swing the 5 back to the front, and this will become 5x minus 2. And this will be x minus 50 divided by 5 is just 10. You will still get the same answer, so it doesn't really matter which way you do it. It's your preference. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them this way, just because a lot of people have trouble guessing and checking. So this might be an easier way for most people. So let's do number 10. Number 10, I have 7p squared plus 34p plus 24. Again, the first thing you want to do is check to see if there is a greatest common factor, and there is not. 34 can't be divided by 7, and 24 can't be divided by 7. So we're going to move this guy over here, and this is going to become p squared plus 34p, and then 24 times 7 is 168. Ooh, this one's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and try to factor this. We've got p and p. Now, factors of 168, that's going to be a bit. So let's see, 1 times 168. 2 times 84. 3 times 56. And again, I'm just using my calculator, finding factors. 4 times 42. 6 times 28. Now, at this point, you should see that whatever the factors of 168 are, they're going to need to add up to 34. And I can see right now that it's going to be 28 and 6. So we can stop there because 28 plus 6 is 34. And this is plus, this is plus. But again, we're not done. Remember, we multiplied by 7. So now we have to divide each of these by 7. And this 7 now goes to the front. This will be 7p plus 6. And this will be p plus 4, because 7 times 4 is 28. So this is your final answer. Remember, you can always check this by foiling, and you should get exactly what you started with. Okay? Number 11. We have 2n squared minus 13n minus 7. Again, there's no greatest common factor. So we're going to take this over here. This will become n squared minus 13n minus 14. I'm going to go ahead and factor. It's going to be 14 and 1. This will be negative 14, positive 1. But just like we multiplied by 2, now I have to divide each of these by 2. Remember, this 2 now goes back to the front, 2n plus 1, and this will be n minus 7. Number 12. We have 7a squared minus 3a minus 10. Again, there's no common factor, so I'm going to move the 7 over. A squared minus 3a minus 70. And we're going to go ahead and try to factor this. Now, factors of 70 that give me 3. We could try 10 and 7. I want negative 10 and positive 7, and that's actually going to work, so that's great. But remember, we multiplied by 7, so now we're going to divide each of these by 7. So this will be a plus 1. And this 7 goes over to the front, 7a minus 10. All right, number 13, we have 5n squared minus 9n minus 18. Again, there's no greatest common factor, so we're going to take the 5 and multiply it over there. So this becomes n squared minus 9n minus 90. And here we want factors of 90 that give me a 9. All right, so factors of 90, 1 and 90, 9 and 10, 2 and 45, 5, and 18, 3 and 30, 6 and 15. 15 minus 6 is going to give me 9. So we're going to use that 15 and 6. Negative 9, that means the bigger number will be negative. The other one will be positive. And since we multiplied by 5, now we're going to divide each of these by 5. Swing this guy to the front. This will be 5n plus 6. And this will be n minus 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, number 14, 21n squared minus 228n plus 180. All right, let's find a greatest common factor. I think 3 is going to be 1, but let me double check. 228 divided by 3, that's 76. And 180 divided by 3, that's 60. And we can pull out a 3 here. This will be 7n squared minus 76n plus 60. And at this point, we're going to have to take this 7 and take it all the way out here and multiply that out. And that's going to be n squared minus 76n plus, that's going to be 420. Oh, lovely. All right. Okay, so now we've got to find factors of 420 that give me 76. So let's see. So 70 times 6 is 420, and if I add those together, which means both of these would be negatives, that should work for me. That'll give me negative 76. Now I multiplied, please make sure this is like that. Sorry. Make sure that that's separated. That's 3 times that whole thing. We multiplied by 7. Now we're going to divide each of these by 7. So this is going to be 3. And then in parentheses, this will be n minus 10, because 70 divided by 7 is 10. And then here we're going to swing this guy to the front. and that'll be 7n minus 6. Okay, that was 14. Let's try 15. For number 15, we have 42a squared plus 66a minus 180. As far as the greatest common factor, I think it's going to be 6. Let me just double check. If I pull out a 6, this will be 7a squared plus 11a minus 30. And if we're going to go ahead and try to factor this one, there's nothing there in common. So I'm going to multiply 7 times this. This will be 6 times. This will be a squared plus 11a minus 210. And now we're going to look for factors of 210 that give me 11. So how about 10 and 21? That looks right. And we want positive 11, so that'll be a positive 21 and a negative 10. And remember, we multiplied by 7, so now I gotta divide each of these by 7. So this is going to be 6 times 7a. Remember, the 7 goes back to the front, plus, oh no, never mind, I just saw it. 21 divided by 7 is just 3, so this is 6 times a plus 3. And this one we do bring to the front. That'll be 7a minus 10. That's a 7. Make it even bigger. There we go. All right, number 16. We have 10x squared minus 78x minus 16. So it looks like to me that 2 is going to be our greatest common factor. This is going to be minus 39x minus 8. Again, you're going to have to take this and multiply it by that. So this is going to be 2 times x squared minus 39x, and then 8 times 5, that's 40. So this is minus 40. And now we are looking for factors of 40 that give me 39. So 40 and 1. And this is negative, this is positive. Again, we multiply by 5. Now I have to divide here by 5. So this is going to become 2 times 5x plus 1, x minus 8. Okay, that was 16. Moving on to 17. Now in 17, 18, 19, and 20, we look at difference of perfect squares. Of perfect squares. And the formula is if you have a squared minus b squared, that's going to equal a plus b, a minus b. In other words, you take the square root of a squared, it goes there and there. The square root of b squared goes there and there. One becomes positive, one becomes negative. Let's take a look at 17. You have 25r squared minus 121. There is no greatest common factor there, but you should see that 25 is a perfect square, r squared is a perfect square, and 121 is a perfect square. So the square root of 25 is 5. Square root of r squared is r. Square root of 121 is 11. And then 1 just becomes positive and 1 becomes negative. Number 18, we have 64p squared minus 9. Same thing, there is no greatest common factor, but this is the difference of perfect squares. The square root of 64 is 8 and 8. The square root of p squared is going to be p and p. The square root of 9 is 3 and 3. One is positive, one is negative. Number 19, you have 4a squared minus 1. Again, there is no greatest common factor that you can pull out, but this is the difference of perfect squares. So the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of a squared is a. Square root of 1 is 1. 1 is plus, 1 is minus. And last but not least, number 20, we have 80 n squared minus 5. Here we do have a greatest common factor, and that is 5. So I'm going to pull out a 5. I'm going to be left with 16n squared minus 1. This is the difference of perfect squares. The square root of 16 is 4. Square root of n squared is n. Square root of 1 is 1. 1 is plus, and 1 is minus. And that ends our review of factoring. Hope you had as much fun as I did. See you next video.